Or anything after that we posted, it was going crazy. But that particular video made shade room, so we didn't.
Anybody that comes on my show, we're going to have a good conversation. It's okay to agree to disagree, just as long as we're respectful.
Look in the camera.
Hold on. Let me just say.
Time you have to
Everyone is a product of their own experience. There will be times that you have to experience the pain in order to experience the joy. So let's talk about the experience and let's share the results. What's going on, everyone? It's your brother, your cousin, your nephew, Anthony, and I am back again for another review. This time, it's going to be a good interview. I want to thank everyone that tuned in for the live I had yesterday dealing with bugs and the Scots yesterday. So if you have not watched that video, make sure you go ahead and do that. Also, know tomorrow I will be doing part 1 of the conversation. And we will have a panel after that right there. So before we get started, let me go ahead and put up this disclaimer. Everything on this channel, everything on this video is alleged entertainment purposes only, and everything is in my opinion. If you have not followed me on social media, make sure you go ahead and follow at SAnthonyLofties. And if you have not purchased my album, make sure you go ahead and purchase Sincerely My Fault. Is available on all digital platforms. If you would like me to promote your business, email outriobusiness@gmail.com. If you have not become a member, go ahead and go to www.youtube.com/AnthonyLofties/join. All right. You know, like I said, tomorrow we will be back for part 1 of the conversation. After that, on Friday, we will be back with Bell Collective Season 3, Episode 8. Saturday, we will be doing Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 14. Now, we got 158 people watching right now. So when you come in, make sure you like, leave comments, and subscribe. We got a 163. Go ahead and keep them numbers going up, y'all. So, y'all know I told y'all I love me some Love and Marriage Detroit. It's very refreshing to see a new show right now, and I'm enjoying the cast right now. So I felt that I wanted to bring somebody on the show. Oh, Chelsea, it's just something about her. That scene right there, I felt like that didn't show us enough of her because Chelsea looked like she was not going, all right? So what we're going to do today, we're going to get to know Chelsea, learn who she is, her connection to the show, and what does she think about the show so far, and also learn a little bit more about Detroit. So let me bring to the platform the one and only Chelsea Victoria. Hey, Chelsea, how are you?
Oh, I'm well. How are you?
I am good. Yeah. How's your day been today?
Ooh, it was a busy one for sure. Wore me out, but I'm here. I made it.
Well, thank you for being a part of my platform. Just coming on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Let me go ahead and put your social media up here so everyone can follow you. So while you all are waiting for me to put this up, how about you all go ahead and put some hearts in the chat for Chelsea, if you all don't mind. You know, we love to show love over here.
Yeah, show me a little love.
Oh, gosh. So, Chelsea, how are you liking the show so far?
You know what? I am actually thoroughly enjoying it. It's very different to see people that you like actually know, like hearing it all like on TV for other people to dissect and put a microscope on. But it's also it's fun because Detroit doesn't necessarily get that kind of love. I think a lot of people have a misconception of what the culture of Detroit is like, and so to just see the city highlighted in that way, in that manner, is just very like it's dope. It's refreshing.
So I do have to ask you something. What is old Detroit and new Detroit? Because I keep on hearing new Detroit.
You know, it's funny. The new Detroit phrase kind of has a negative connotation to true Detroit natives. But I understand why people feel the need to make the differentiation. Old Detroit is basically what I was talking about, the misconception. like Detroit dirty, it's grungy, not much is happening here, it's no real culture here.
Mm-hmm.
And then they label New Detroit because there's been a lot of redevelopment in the city. A lot of people are coming here, it's becoming a main attraction. A lot of different cultures are coming here, and people are really seeing the city for what it has always been. But I guess that's what I'm saying. The city has always been that, regardless of whether it's redevelopment or what we like to call gentrification.
Yeah.
But you know, I get it. It's an economic thing. But the city has always been a city. The people of Detroit are literally authenticators. Nobody does it like us. Culture is unmatched. So I don't believe in old Detroit, new Detroit. It's just the D all day. But you know, to each his
Okay.
own.
So tell us more about you, because it looked like you be modeling, and baby, body is body.
Oh, yes. Hips and actually I do not model. You know, that was a gift that I gave myself for my birthday this year. So I was like, I don't have any professional pictures of myself. So let me go ahead and do a little boudoir and get it up there. So that was very refreshing. But I am an event host, I'm an event planner, I'm a brand strategist, I'm a trained dancer as in like choreography. So like I'm trained in ballet and hip hop. Yeah, like that's what I do. So a lot of ad campaigns you may see. General Motors used to be a client of mine. Now it's US Bank. I do a lot of side jobs, but I really love event hosting, like whether it be like special occasions and weddings, birthdays, but I also do some celebrity events as well.
Go ahead. So you just saying Chelsea know how to get to the bag.
Okay, the bag,
Yeah,
and the
the bag.
bag, whatever bag it
Okay.
is.
So you are from Detroit, correct? Are you
Yes,
from Detroit?
I'm
So
from
let me ask you something. So what have you heard around town? Are people liking the show? What do they think about it so far?
You know, it's like a mix. For the most part, it's a lot of positivity. Like people are just
Mm-hmm.
happy that, you know, Detroit is being able to be showcased. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can't help but to like hashtag and get to looking at the comments. And like I literally do that for a career, like being a brand strategist. I'm always social
Mm-hmm.
listening. So, you know, a lot of people are like, who are these people? And la la la. But and the thing for me is, well, I know people definitely know who Bravo is. I know people know who Brandon is. Christina is not originally from Detroit. She got married to Brandon and moved here, but she's been here so long and she got that swag. Like, it ain't no reason to hate. It don't matter whether she's from Detroit or not. Like, she bringing it. But a lot of people are like, you know, who are these people? But I think it's best when you don't necessarily know. You don't want people who already have a rapport. Then you already know what you're gonna get. Like, what's the point in that? Ain't no storyline in that. So that's really the most. I've seen people talk about the men in not such a flattering manner. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't act like that, then people won't talk like that. But you know. But
Let me
I
ask you
think
something. Was
that
it all the men or just maybe one of the men?
it was all honestly. I think so. As an overall thing, people were really saying like the misogyny is high, but I think that it's a lot of the edits. I don't know Russell personally. Like I know him from around. Like Russell is definitely known uh, in Detroit. Brandon is definitely known in Detroit. Um, I think that when they actually get in the season, because we're only like 3 episodes in, you'll get to be able to see like some more loving dynamics. I think that's what's missing right now. It's not a balance quite yet. So
So
once they
you
give
said
it a balance,
so you said Russell is known and Brandon is known.
mm-hmm.
Is Anthony from Detroit?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
But he's not known. Okay.
I mean, I didn't know him.
You
I
didn't
can't say
know.
that he's not known. Maybe somebody does.
Okay.
Sure.
So how did you feel when Christina told you that she was going to be on Love and Marriage in Detroit?
So at first, sis was being very secretive. And like, you know, a lot of people think when it comes to like reality TV, like that some of the relationships may be like faked or forced for the sake of a show.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's like my actual, like, she's like a big sister to me. So we don't have no secrets. So when she started being all tight-lipped, I'm like, it's what you got going on that you don't want to tell me? So she started talking very vaguely. She was gatekeeping. Oh, you know, I'm gonna be on this show. I'm like, well, what show is it? She would never tell me, but it's only so many shows. So I just start connecting the dots. I'm like, okay. But when she said that, I was excited for her. I think that Christina definitely deserved. I think this is a point in her life. I think she's in the season of like really showing people the fire that's within her. She is not. She has always, to me, held back a certain fire about herself that I see all the time because we're like sisters, like we talk. I know what's inside of her. Everybody doesn't see that. Everybody sees social media, you know, cute.
Yep.
I'm like, show them what you got.
Okay. So how long have you and Christina been friends?
Well, her oldest is, her and Brandon got married about 11 years ago. I met her because of Brandon. So Brandon has Star Factory, which is an artist development company. I actually went to Star Factory as a teenager. That's how I
wow.
even know Brandon. So I knew Brandon since I was like 15. That's where I trained up in dancing.
Oh wow.
And he had a lot of groups that came out of there that went on like all those big shows. It was this group called Acid that I trained under. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Where did the Jabberwockies come from? What show was that?
Don't make me lie.
Whatever show that was on MTV where it was like the dance crews, like battling it out. Like it was a couple crews that came out of Star Factory that went on that show. But everybody calls Brandon Squeeze in Detroit. That was his nickname. I don't know where that came from. But I just remember being on Twitter and Squeeze was tagging this girl and her name on there was She Squeezy. I'm like, who is She Squeezy? Like, you got a girl? I ain't never seen you with nobody. So I'm doing my little research and I'm like, oh, they a thing. So naturally, that's just who I am. I start making my way in. I'm like, I want to know who this person is because I ain't never seen Brandon with nobody. And so we became friends shortly after that. I know we've been friends for at least 8 years because her oldest is 7 years old, if I'm not mistaken, and I was at that baby shower, so I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So let's talk about I don't want to jump to the scene yet because you know we're gonna get there. We're going to get to that scene.
What scene? A scene happened?
Oh, did it? I don't know. Maybe a table. I guess a few bosses was there. Oh. I think it was maybe undercover boss that was going on there.
I was unaware. I just had no clue.
Girl, I'm like, did you not get him your resume or?
See, I'm not in the business of proving myself to people.
That's okay, come on.
That's just not that ain't my lane.
So, did you get an invite, or how was your approach to come on?
Let's be, and this not towards you, but let's be for real, right? We know how production works. How do you find out the location of a place if you don't have an invite?
You're right. You're right about that.
What you do? That's what AI do now. ChatGPT. Excuse me, AI. Can you tell me where somebody might be filming a reality TV show? I like to go to one today. No, I got an invite. Like, let's not be goofy. That's silly.
Okay. How did that conversation happen? Like, what was going on? Because the look on your face was like, I mean, if you don't know me, I will wear you out in this place. And I'm like, I know they chopped that scene up. They had to.
I need some water. Hold on.
This is gonna be shady. I know what it is. Christina, Brandon, I know y'all watching. Anthony, I know you watching too. Go ahead.
All right, 1 second.
I'm gonna drink with you.
Bless it, Lord. Okay. So honestly, I had just got there. We got food, whatever they started. They began to do the wine tasting. The wine was actually good. It was pretty decent. I'm not a hater. The wine was good. Drinks are flowing. I'm noticing a conversation between Christina and Brandon. I've never heard Christina and Brandon go back and forth in life, ever. Not once. And so I was already taken aback because I'm like, and I'm trying to, just like anybody else would, especially since we're filming, I'm like, is this for real? Like, are they planning this, or like, are they really going back and forth? And so once I confirmed for myself, I'm like, okay, this is like a real conversation. But the energy in the whole place was just weird. And so that was my first day on set, my first day filming, period. I did not know anybody there except for Christina, Brandon, and Bravo. That was my first time meeting LaToya and her husband. Never met them before. And I believe I said that, or they included that in that scene. And so I was trying to get context, like, okay, what's really going on? Because you don't be in a wine tasting, laughing and giggling 1 minute, and then the next minute, whole vibe off. So I'm like, okay, so they're going back and forth. They're having a conversation. It's between A and B. But somebody across the table keeps intervening, keep. And I felt like Christina was being ganged up on, honestly.
She was.
And like, because mind you, the scenes are not shown in their totality. So there was a lot more conversation and a lot more intervening. And I don't know nobody else. I can only speak for myself. Because Brandon wasn't speaking up for Christina. I'm never going to stand by and watch anybody gang up on anybody that I'm connected to or anybody I say I love. I'm just not that girl. And I'm an East Side girl. Let's start there. I'm an East Side girl. I felt like they were in, Christina might come off as like meek or docile, but she's not. So I know she's a big girl. She could stand up for herself, but it was like she couldn't get a word out of her mouth. So I was like, I don't know who this person is, but maybe I really don't know who this person is because you are invested, baby. Like you got some stocks and bonds over here. Like what is going on? Like what is it that you are, like why are you so interested in what they have going on? It's a certain level of concern where there's a cutoff as a friend, as a third party. There just is.
And Dr. LaToya would say absolutely nothing to like try to, because the only thing I see her doing is this, like she's doing a mind dance at church. Like
in the midst of him doing that, no, she wasn't saying much. Toward the end of that conversation, she did speak up. I can't lie and say I remember what she was saying because at that point the damage had already been done. I had like completely, like my mind just wasn't there because it was so unexpected and it was so out the left. Like the way y'all saw it, even though the scene was cut and edited a certain way, at that point, that's literally how it happened. I asked that simple, valid question, and then it just went up. And I'm just like, well, for one, you don't know me, so I don't know where this is coming from or what this is motivated by. I'm like, I don't know if you just triggered by me or like it just was out of the blue. I'm like,
so how did you feel when he made that comment saying, Christina, you need to be careful who you hang around, surround yourself around, you're a boss now, you're on a different level. Like he basically looked at you like you was just a peasant or just, did he call you a bird or something?
He called me a bird. Well, I felt 2 different ways. No, I felt 3 different ways. I was like, the first thing, which is where the laugh came from. I don't know if you saw me laugh or not.
Yeah.
I'm like, I will flip this table over. I will clear everything off this table. But then the newer, more feminine self came in. It was like, who even is this person? Like, I have nothing for you. I treat energy like currency. I wouldn't pay for a bad experience. I'm not going to use my energy on a bad experience. Oh. I'm like, I don't even know you. And you do not know me. There's no reason for you to be saying that unless somebody fed that to you. But what level of a man hears something or let somebody feed something to them and then they go repeat it? That sounds like a bird to me.
Now, when your friends
breadcrumbs and running with it, that's the same thing the birds outside my house do.
Now, when your friends saw that episode, did people like reach out to you like, okay, what do we just watch? Do we need to handle this? Like,
people was ready to ride out. I'm not even gonna lie. I was getting calls from everywhere. And I was never thinking. The one thing I never thought about was like, oh, like, because I never really talked about it. I never thought about like, oh, my parents are gonna see this. Like, it upset a lot of people. It upset men that are connected to me, where I'm having to I'm like, well, that happened over a year ago. Like, y'all gotta relax. Like, I'm like, it's not okay, but we don't gotta do all of that. Like, it happened. I wasn't fazed. I'm not spending no energy on it. You don't got to spend no energy on it. But people were outraged because it was just like, let's call it spade a spade. It was plain and blatantly disrespectful.
Yeah.
And it was unmotivated. It was unprovoked. It was unwarranted. It was no reason to do all of that. And you can tell that it was out the blue because everybody was shocked. Everybody like Christina's mouth was open. Like she could, but I wasn't, even though I was shocked, I recognized that kind of energy. I recognized that. So I'm like, okay.
Do I recognize it too?
You may, I'm not sure. I'm just like, go off, sis. You did you did that.
Yeah, I recognize it with you.
Whatever little performance that was, you won that High School Musical award. You
I
did
said
that.
on my videos, I said Dr. LaToya Thompson really be looking like ISIS. Calm down. Like,
Yeah, it's very weird because it's the thing is, even if it's not that, I also recognize that energy in men. Like the whole we bosses, you're alpha presenting. Alpha males don't do all of that. Nobody that is somebody got to step in the room and announce themselves.
you right about that? I definitely agree with that.
Nobody does that. I'm like,
So I don't know if you are familiar with have you ever watched Love and Marriage Huntsville?
yeah.
So what is the difference from Love and Marriage Huntsville and Love and Marriage Detroit in your opinion?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. The main difference is I recognize so far, because I mean I watch it when y'all watch it. Even if there may be some grievances within relationships. So, Melody and Martell could be at odds, which they typically are. And Marceau and Tisha and Kimmy and Maurice. But when it comes to their women, you're not going to play with their women at all. And they may be as, grimy as somebody might think they are, or whatever the case is, you start directing energy toward their wives, it's a no. It's a plain no. It's not a boy club. Like what I witnessed that day, I'm like, what are y'all consoling Brandon about? That's confusing.
So did Bravo have a lot to say outside of Anthony, or was Anthony like the main person?
Have a lot to say about what that
like when you all was getting to it at the table, right? So
I think the gist of everything that Bravo said was actually captured on camera between episode 2 and episode 3. I don't recall Bravo saying like too much. And mind you, like I know Bravo personally. So it's like that's the one thing that I was a little deterred by or a little shocked. I would almost say my feelings were a little hurt. But I also won't say it because I'm a thug. But for me to have known Brandon as long as I have and known Bravo as long as I have, I'm like, y'all just gonna sit here, huh? I'm like, y'all really dedicated to this boys club. I was like, noted. Like, cool. Like, I'm not mad at them anymore.
Gotcha.
But I was just like, okay.
I will say, watching Love and Marriage Detroit, I feel like the conversations are more relatable.
Yeah.
When it comes to like basically all the couples having communication problems. Okay, we can see that. I feel Anthony, he capping a lot. Like every time he try to say something like, "Oh, when I invested in your bit," I'm like, "Nah, we put it in together." Like
she was like, "We speak French, we."
And then the whole Atlanta look. Stop making it seem like I didn't want you to go. The problem. It was never a problem with you going to Atlanta. The thing is that you didn't communicate that to me.
No, I don't think that was it. I don't think that he didn't communicate it to her. I think that she originally thought that she would be okay with it. And once it actually transpired, she realized how much of a burden it was to have to do everything in the midst of a pandemic for at a time. And it was like, I can't do this. So like, that's what I got from it when I watched it. And so I don't know that that's necessarily miscommunication, But I mean, did they cover what he was doing in Atlanta?
He just said he was doing something for Marvel and Disney.
I
don't know what they would be doing during COVID, but
that's interesting.
Atlanta, you know it.
Marvel and Disney. I just can't imagine that you be doing something that big with Marvel and Disney, and you know your household would know the magnitude of it and will want you to come home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like something that substantial. I don't know. Has to be more to it.
Now let me ask you this right here. Anthony went live after that episode, so I guess people in Detroit was dragging his ass.
Were they? I tried to get on, but I couldn't. So it led me to believe he blocked me or something. He didn't want me to hear what he was saying. Because I tried to get on.
Hold on. So can you go to his page now?
I haven't tried. Because after that day, because I was out on the water. I was out on the boat, and I was trying. I'm like, is it my reception? And I'm like, we got back to the dock because it wasn't that long. We was already on our way there to the dock, and I'm like, maybe it's my reception. But I'm like, let me see your phone. I'm trying to get on this live. They could get on. I couldn't. I was like, huh.
Was there ever a private conversation where he apologized to you?
I feel as though he's apologized to everybody but me. Now, without giving too much away, there was an effort to apologize, but I'm through and through. Like, if you're gonna do something, you got to do it the right way. So as soon as I feel like you on some mess, we're gonna have to shut it down. Like, I'm not in the business of playing around with people's children. Like, we not doing that. He never came to me directly, not even after the filming was done or anything. And somebody did like tell me, like show me part of his live where he was basically trying to express regret or remorse. But to say that, oh, I got a wife, I got a daughter, I got sisters, I got a mother, but you never once tried to personally contact me and reach out and apologize, none of that matters. Like, people like you, whatever your publicist told you to say, that's cool, that's cute. But like, who are you in real life? Like, the character in the measure of a man is in that type of stuff. So you can be men's movement this and whatever the case is, but your character is right there. That's in your spirit. You can't fake that. So whatever. You cannot fake that.
It's always the biggest person that I always want to talk about a man's movement.
What do you mean the biggest person?
The main person that I always want to sit up here and try to teach other people how to be a man and do this and stuff, do all the extra stuff, is the main one who probably needs to learn how to do it themselves. Always.
So. But you know, the thing is, what I've learned over the years is that even if the vessel itself ain't necessarily favorable or flattering, you can't miss the message. So maybe he do got something to offer to people. I wouldn't know, but I know the way he acted in that moment, that was plain ugly. Like, as a man, like, do better. That's just not, do better.
Let's go ahead and nip this in the bud right now. Everyone is saying that Christina is insecure. But I said, everyone that reached out to me said like she's overly confident. Like they said, she is far from being insecure. That's your friend. Can you tell us, what do you think? Like, when you saw the way that she's coming off on the screen, is she coming off insecure to you, or you feel like that's just making the edits look like she's that way?
I think she's being portrayed as that way. Christina has no reason to be insecure. Like, and that's not even me just saying that as a friend. Like, that girl is, can we cuss out? That girl is the shit, period. Across the board. 20 out of 10. Like, she has no reason to be, and that's why, like, the whole narrative, oh, you holding me back, No, she make you look better. You tripping.
Oh. Come
like,
on now.
let's relax. Like, that's craziness. And I think that if you can watch that and not get that, you know, that's kind of, you might want to sharpen your emotional intelligence just a little bit.
Gotcha. So have you learned anything new from watching this show that you thought you would have never found out? Because you said that was your first time witnessing them get into it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you pay attention to the episodes, she said something that really stood out. She said, for the past 7 years, I have been a mother, I have been a wife, I let my career, I let my fashion go.
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all ever had those conversations where, or did you ever feel that she kind of felt like that she wasn't being who she really wanted to be?
We've definitely had those conversations. I don't want to give away her
Yeah.
age or anything like that. I just remember at a certain point she had a breaking point where she was like, I didn't even know who I was for a minute. And that
Mm-hmm.
I don't have children. So, but I have plenty of friends, close friends, people who are like family to me who have experienced that where you kind of lose your own identity because you're being everything else to everybody else. And so for like in that moment, I'm pretty sure he knows it now, but for Brendan to not like empathize empathize with that, like they have two beautiful, gorgeous babies.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely gorgeous. I know she has definitely when and now nobody would know this. During the pandemic, their whole family caught COVID. All four of them, the two babies, her and Brandon. Christina was still up and about taking care of all of them. I was dropping groceries off to their home during the pandemic. Christina was like, and she would not send Brandon to the hospital. She was like, I'm not letting my if he go in there, he not coming out. I'm gonna nurse my man back to health. And that's exactly what she did. So insecure where? Like,
Wow.
no, ain't no way. Not my sis. Find somebody else to do it.
So, and you do know Kobe and Russell, right? You know them, or you know Russell.
No, I know of Russell. I've seen Kobe out and about, like
Mm-hmm.
at different events because she is like actually on the scene, but I don't know them like personally. Like, I don't know
Okay.
them personally. What
Is
you
her
about to say?
is her
I'm looking at
eyebrows
your
really
face.
that dark? Cause Kobe, I like Kobe and Russell, but them eyebrows be fun, bold, 24.
I'm gonna assume that they are. Her hair is dark though.
Mm-hmm.
So they might just be full. And you know, like the camera. I don't know. I don't know. You childish.
What? I love. Let me,
When I
I
saw
like.
her in person, they don't look like crazy or anything. They like fit her face.
Mm-mm. It's
You gonna say,
Is Russell preaching yet?
I ain't seen him in no Sunday services quite yet. Not
They
quite, but
say
that
he
don't mean
loved the
he's
Lord.
done. Huh?
They say he loved the Lord. They said that he be having couples nights and be playing gospel music.
Really?
That's what's
Maybe
going
he should borrow one of them pastor suits from Anthony.
on. He give me Pastor Ed long suits vibes.
Oh my God. Not the bishop, Eddie DeLong. Oh Lord, I just caught the second part of that. Okay. Not me being slow on this one. This is what I'm not about to do with you. Bishop Eddie Long.
So let me ask you something. So, what are some dynamics that you feel that the show could add to Love and Marriage on Detroit?
So I mentioned one already where, and I'm sure they're gonna get into it. Carlos King is like, he's king. So I'm sure he already has a strategy for it. But I think right now, and we're only 3 episodes in, I always tell people like, y'all gotta give it a little time. But just the complexity of the marriages, like right now, it's kind of one side is kind of lopsided,
Mm-hmm.
balance and like seeing like the actual love in the like in the relationships. I mean, like obviously they love each other, but it's just been more conflict and drama than anything. So to be able to just like actually see people, you know,
Mm-hmm.
giving people the other dynamic part of marriage. Cause you know, the comments on Twitter like, oh, thanks for showing me why I don't need to get married. I'm like, dang, it ain't even that bad, y'all.
True. Carlos King should have been on. He should have had a reality show for the Clark sisters
Oh,
when Denise came back.
you make my day. Hey,
But imagine Denise doing her confessionals. They didn't hear
Child,
me
I
nothing.
know all the shade probably would have been thrown. That's interesting. That's an interesting concept.
It would be good. So, from all the relationships, who would you remove from the group?
Mm. That's
If you had
hard.
to ask yourself, who would you remove?
Like it got to be couples.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably remove. That's hard. It's only hard because I'm trying to decipher between personal and like I also am like my production eye is kind of going off. So it's like without the diva Anthony, it would be nothing to
Yep,
really
I'm with you right there.
decipher. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it would be nothing to be like. But I just feel like whatever is between Kobe and Russell hasn't completely unraveled or unfolded yet. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't want to throw them off the island quite yet. If we could just get another character to be the to do the most,
Mm-hmm.
we could just go ahead and remove um Anthony. But
I
not
don't
his
think,
wife though. She got a wine line she needs to promote.
I
Keep
don't
her.
think, I don't think we can remove Anthony because you need the drama. You
You
need
do
the
need the drama.
and we got to hear that high pitched voice a little bit.
What?
He got to have somebody have his back. We got to have it. Yeah.
Do you remember that viral video? Like, I think there was like on I don't know, Fix My Life, but he was like, "Cause deep down inside, I still want you." He said, "Man,
Yeah.
I swear."
Oh my god.
Now, why you want to do
I'm
that
about
on
to use
this
that.
camera?
I'm about to use that. I'm about to use that.
I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
I bet
drama.
Dr. Latoya look back at that scene like, I bet she really
Immediate
contemplate
hit.
on
I know
it.
she was probably her skin was probably crawling. Ain't no way.
I know she's like, did I really marry this man?
Child, you just see.
Mm.
I don't know.
At first, I'm like, did they get some water off the boat and just put it up there? I'm like, I said, he
But
gonna make
didn't
sure he
she
get
say I
off
felt
it.
like it was a confessional in like episode 1 where she said like I feel like I wasn't supposed to marry him or I shouldn't have. Didn't she say that? I could have sworn I saw that. No, she said it. Like,
Oh, I would love to be.
like she made a decision. Like she made that. What I always tell people is like, what float my boat might not float your boat. So it's like when I see certain dynamics together, I be like, that's your husband, that's your wife, like that's your person, like that's the person that's meant for you.
Okay.
That's them.
Now let's talk about Bravo. I reached out. Bravo, if you watching this, go ahead and check your DM because you just followed me back on Instagram because everyone has been asking about Bravo. Okay. Is he single? All right, y'all. He is not single. Okay. So
Y'all
Bravo got someone. Dude. I mean,
get him for Bravo. Okay. Bravo.
but I'm just saying, it's like, you know what? Just because I say someone is attractive does not mean I want them because I don't know nobody on the show. But Detroit got some good looking men. They're very attractive. I mean, except for one that'll do for whoever they with. But I'm just saying, everybody else is okay. So, everybody say he married. He married.
Yeah, he
Shoot.
married. He married. He is married, and his wife is beautiful. That was actually, as long as I've known Bravo, that was my first time. Like on set was my first time actually meeting her, and she was very cool. Cause I don't think I really ever seen her out like that. But she's absolutely beautiful.
I like that they brought a lot of friends on for the first, second, and third episode because Love and Marriage Huntsville, it really wasn't like that. Even with DC, it wasn't like that. So it's like, okay, Carlos is really pushing the envelope now. Now you know you need to start bringing other people on the show outside of the 6 people, the 6 main cast members. So now we can get to know you a little bit more. Hopefully you're on more episodes. We obviously we seen Bravo, so we're familiar with who he is.
Yeah.
The 2 people Latoya and them was with, I don't see them coming back unless they got a picnic somewhere. The ones that was on the boat. But
yeah.
I think that was fillers.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Who would you take off the show? And who do you think in real life you could not rock with?
I definitely could not rock with Anthony in real life. I'll talk to him and like I congratulated everybody on the cast. Like congratulations on your first season. But Anthony will be too much in my business, and I'd be ready to beat the hell out of him. So I couldn't do it. I'm like, bro,
I'll beat him up.
You talking a little bit too much for me. Okay, stay over there. I would probably I could probably rock with Kobe and Russell until they start talking about church too much. Because once they start doing all that, look, I'm out. I told you, like, Pastor Russell, I call him Pastor Patrick. Because he sound like Patrick on SpongeBob. 24. Disney World. SpongeBob,
no,
what are you doing?
Sir.
Yes,
no,
he did.
Sir.
He talk just like Patrick. Did you change the Wumbo? You know what I'm talking about.
I have melted on. Am I even right here, right now? What?
I mean, I would remove.
Oh my gosh. No. Oh my God, Lord.
It will probably be Russell and Kobe that I would probably remove. Just because they haven't really given me too much, which I do like their I like their storyline so far because you don't really. Have we even seen anybody on a reality show saying they wanted to be a chaplain or become a preacher? I don't think that's ever been done. So it's new because, like I said, I'm a PK, so I totally understand.
Oh, and then you don't want nobody to be talking about church, talking about you, but PK.
Girl, I mean, it's inside of me. Trust me, I can always go that way. I mean, keep in mind when it comes to a PK, we don't have the luxury of choosing to go. We're forced to go.
Well, honey, my whole family, listen, you don't got to tell me. I was in all the services, so I understand.
So that's why I said I can't see Kobe being on first lady. The only prayer I can see her saying is, Lord, please don't let this woman come up to me. Lord, don't let us be in service too long. God, I don't feel like praying for nobody.
She said that. She said, I am not trying to be anybody.
And I'm with her.
I hear it.
But her mama never wasn't ready for that when she sat up there and said, I witnessed what y'all went through. The mama wasn't ready for that. She was not ready for to make that comment. I said,
But, you know, sometimes it's hard to hear, you know, what you did that impacted your children, even to this day. It's very hard to hear. And if you aren't in a space where you are willing and ready to be accountable, it make it even harder. So.
Well, if they say Russell love the Lord the way he's saying that and saying he do, they probably praying before they have sex.
Yeah. Well.
Father God, before we get into it, I need to. I can't see it.
Not before we get into it.
Well, yeah.
I knock her head between this bed rail. I need you to bless it, Lord.
Lord, we're not gonna call your name in vain.
What's up? Before I get in them guts. Like, okay. Mood is ruined.
But you know what? I want to know more about Bravo. Since they're bringing him on so much. It's like hopefully his wife come on and we learn a little bit more about his outside
trailer. Or I feel like I saw in the trailer, I saw her on the boat with the girls or something. I know I've seen her on set a couple times. I feel like she may have been on set like more than I have. So yeah, I think that would be good. So you're only interested because, you know, you keep seeing him appear and stuff, but you don't really hear him talk much.
Yep.
Okay.
And not only that, like he has he owned the club, right?
Yeah. Yep. He owns a club. They actually, after this film, they opened up a restaurant downtown, him and some partners, that whole circle that Brandon was referring to. It's actually a really nice, it's like a supper club almost, called District 78. Look at that. Free promo. Okay. I don't hate on black businesses, okay? I mean, I wouldn't hate on Bravo in general, but yeah, no, that's a nice restaurant. Good food, good vibes, good drinks, DJs. Like it was hard to get a reservation for a minute.
Well, I'm gonna let him know. Bravo, if you watching, if Anthony come to Detroit, I'm not waiting in no line. Ooh. I need to go ahead and get on up in there because I'm gonna come straight to my YouTube. You treat me wrong. I'm just playing.
To the front of the line, okay? No.
So if you was offered to be on the show, would you do it, like as a cast member, or do you just want to enjoy being a friend of the show?
I think I would. I think I have a lot of like personality. I think that's one thing we haven't really seen from any of the wives. Like Christina has been in these first 3 episodes more occupied with having to defend herself than being able to actually like show like her true self, and that could just be the edit too, because you know I wasn't present on set every time she filmed, so I'm like very interested and excited to see them like display her full personality, because that's the whole reason we friends. Like, we are so much alike. Like, that girl is silly. Like, she will catch you off guard. Everybody, and that's the thing too. Like, because of social media and people knowing Christina in and around Detroit, all people see is like, holy, holy, holy. She's a PK. No, that girl is, she will have you cracking up, have you slobbing, okay? Like, okay, don't make me laugh that hard. Not too much, not too much. And we haven't, like, we've seen all the wives pretty much in like serious mode. So it'll be good to actually see them like having some fun and showing the personality. But yeah, I definitely would, because I don't have the same confinements as they do. I don't have children. Like, listen, when they were filming the show, I constantly was running to producers. They're like, "Oh, you be outside." I'm like, "I'll be outside." Like, they at dinner, they waving at me from across the restaurant. I'm like, "Hey, girl." I'm like, "Hey."
Yeah,
like,
you have to bring that balance. It has to be on that.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. Carlos, go ahead and add her to the show.
Ooh.
Let me shut up, because they're going to think me and Carlos talking. I'm just saying in
Oh
general.
my God, they were saying that.
Girl, they say everything.
Yeah, that's the nature. That's what you kind of open yourself up to when you do any of that stuff. Opinions.
So, what can we expect from you when it comes to Love and Marriage Detroit? Because I got a feeling we're going to see you on some more episodes.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Like I said, I'll watch it when y'all watch it. So right now, y'all saw, the only thing y'all saw, because it was allegedly said that I just wanted a moment. But if y'all was watching what I watched, we see who the moment was for. But the only thing we seen as far as me having a moment, thank you for that. All you did was make me relevant the way y'all do. And then I believe I show all my personality. So I feel like you'll get to see me and Christina really kikiing, because that's what we do when we together. I hope they caught some of that and not so much like the serious stuff. But really, I just came to bring like the fun and the vibes. Like, I'm the jokester. I'm silly. I don't never try to play that off. If you around me, you're going to laugh. You're going to be like, why? Now, why you even say that? Did you have to take it that far? Yes, I did. Every time. So hopefully that's what y'all see from me.
Okay, I look forward to seeing more of you on there. And I hope they put more of Brandon's work. I guess watching the show, it seemed like they made it look like he was in his beginning stage.
Yeah,
I
didn't agree with that. Like, Brandon been going hard for a long time. I've seen so many, like half the circuit that I know, because I like grew up dancing, doing hip hop, contemporary, all of that. And so a good portion of my dance career was spent being a background dancer for a lot of artists and a lot of local artists. And there was never a time I was at a show or at a studio or whatever that I didn't recognize somebody from Star Factory. Like, oh yeah, I remember seeing you at like B Spot. I remember seeing you here. Like, so many people, like the circuit here is tight. And so I don't know why it's portrayed like it's beginning. It's not beginning at all. Like, he's been doing it for a long time. And it's well established.
Let me find out you're going to be a background dancer for Christina. Christina, get back in the studio.
Listen. I don't background dance anymore. I mean, it's not that I wouldn't, but I'm not really a background girl, you know. Center stage is her. So, but I'll teach her dancers. I got you, sis.
Okay. Well, you also have an extra background dancer that's on the show. So,
who is that?
One of the bosses.
Dang, some people just be like so not memorable. You gotta help me.
Oh, yeah, you never mind.
I really don't know who you're talking about. I'm not even being funny. I don't.
It's okay. The one that called you a bird.
Do they?
The one that called you a bird in the background.
Oh, the one that dressed like a pastor. Okay, cool. Oh, the dusty one who don't moisturize. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I got a daughter. I got family. I would never want, but that's what I did. Okay, cool. That's who you're talking about.
Did you buy some wine? Did you take a bottle of wine home?
No, I didn't buy. But you know what? I won't say that I wouldn't. I would definitely buy that wine. I mean, it's very evident that it had people turn. So
I mean, she sent me on a code, and I said I was gonna order some. Now I did talk to Dr. Latoya. And you know what? The cast has been really nice to me. The only people that haven't responded was Russell and Kobe. I said I don't talk about this girl eyebrows too much.
Oh Lord, but maybe because you think it's going directly to their DMs. Because I had to fish. Okay, I had to fish yours out. Like I was like, what is this? Oh, that's unfortunate. I want you to be able to.
I mean, they know because when I put on the story, you know, it show you who all looked at it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but everybody else is being nice, and I'm like, hopefully Anthony can turn this narrative around. But I don't see it moving around anytime soon.
I mean, that's 3 episodes of just purely being in other people's business, and that's not something you typically see of a man on the show. You know, like usually it'd be like a little. Like Nancy Drew, like it's a woman that's doing all. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a different dynamic to see that, to watch that, to observe that.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure you and Christina can have a good conversation tonight.
I'm about to go out. I will have to talk to her tomorrow. Okay.
I'll wait for the date. Well, Chelsea, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
I really appreciate it. Anytime. And I'm letting you know right now, if something else pop off in this season,
as soon as something
come on back. You coming.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Gary. You have a good night and you be safe out there.
Yeah, you too.
And everyone put some hearts in the chat and say goodbye.
Yes, make sure y'all follow me. Listen. Come follow me. Come to death, bro.
All right, girl. Thank you so much. All right. Bye. Yeah. All right, y'all. That was Chelsea from Love and Marriage Detroit. Thank you all for tuning in. This was a quick live, almost at an hour. So let me go back over it again. Everyone that didn't see everything. So tomorrow, I will be going live at 7:30 Central Time for part 1 of the conversation. And then we will have a panel after that, okay? Then, on Friday, we will be with Bell Collective Season 3, Episode 8. I will be going live either at 8:05 or 8:15 Central Time. Then Saturday, I will be doing Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 15. I'll be going live at either 8:05 or 8:15. As soon as the episode is done, I will be getting ready to go live. So I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and bye-bye. We're out.